Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Warren Lane.
Good morning. Welcome to my private shop I have here with a friend of mine. So right here, this is an Indian Larry Legacy motorcycle. I believe this is the very first Legacy motorcycle after Indian Larry died. This was built for Tucker, a Volcom motorcycle. He had one of my brothers in Choppers Inc. bikes and this one. And
So it's built after he died?
Yeah, I believe it's the first one. It's built by Paul Cox.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And Kano? Or
Well, maybe, I don't know. They
split
I
already?
only know the Paul Cox. I don't know about Kino.
No,
I don't
okay.
have anything to do with it. It's possible, but I don't know about it.
But this is your private bike then?
No, this isn't my bike. This
Nope.
belongs to the guy it was built for, but it's been out of service for a while, and I'm just getting it back ready to go, and then it's going to be for sale.
So this, how did they do with the motor? Is it stroked or is it
I don't know.
like blueprinted?
I have no idea,
No.
to be honest with you.
But here in the background we have your selection of old Harley historic motors. What are the years here?
Yeah, this is a 41 FL. This is going in that green chopper over there without the motor in it.
Yep.
It's all rebuilt. It's just left to look old on the outside. This is a stroker out of a drag bike. I don't really know how big it is. You can see it's got the S&S Sidewinder cylinders, and they nickel plated it, and it was all polished.
Yeah.
I bought to use the motor for my chopper. I probably have to detune it some. It's probably too radical for the street. It's probably 98 or 100 inches for a drag bike.
So you do all your own engine work?
It depends. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I can do it all. I'm a trained machinist and I used to do this, but sometimes it's easier to outsource it, let people do what they're excellent at, and I can do what I'm doing. So this is a 39 motor. This actually used to belong to Randy Simpson. Remember Randy Simpson from Milwaukee Iron?
Milwaukee Iron, good friend.
This was his. I got his personal motorcycle. I guess when he got in trouble, he sold it to a friend of mine. I got the frame, the tranny, the motor. That's a 39.
He was at my 40th birthday.
Oh yeah?
I got one of the air cleaners he made.
Yeah. And this is a 1945 FL, which is World War II production. It's pretty rare. I think there's only 300 of them in 1945, maybe 400, but it's pretty rare.
Do you mean that is the most expensive knuckle? Is it a specific year of the knuckles which is the most
36
expensive?
is the most expensive, but 43 is the rarest. There's only like 80 or 100 knuckleheads those years.
And you have any of those, or?
I have one.
You have one.
Yeah, we got
excuse
one.
me for the crazy question. Of course.
Yeah.
So once again, you said what year?
43 is the
43.
the lowest production, but 36 is the most money.
The most money.
I don't know. 43 is pretty expensive if you can find one. They're about the same, I guess, for money.
Yeah.
But 43 is definitely the rarest. But there's a lot of fake ones. Just
Exactly.
not even 80 of them. So you got to get a real one. It's pretty hard to find. This is a 41. This is interesting. I had the whole chopper, but a friend of mine's uncle in 1969, his neighbor was going to Vietnam and said that his other neighbor was going to give him $100 for this chopper. And he thought it was a good price. And he told him to bring it over. He'd give him the $100, and it sat there for all these years until a couple years ago. The guy got old and had asthma, and people have been sending his family have been sending him money every year for heat and food, and no groceries. And he had all these knuckleheads in his garage, and I bought that from him.
His retirement.
And this is the racing JDC motor. This is built by Matt Waxler for the Sons of Speed races.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that goes in that other blue race bike up front. I don't know if you even saw that.
Yeah.
And these look like military. They're military color parts, but they're for this 46, which you're going to see in a few minutes.
Yep.
So it's not Warrior production, but that's the paint that would look like.
But
And
do you
these are factory Harley Davidson XR750 blueprints. They're not reproductions. Those are real ones.
the real ones?
Yeah. Those are factory posters too. And remember that Steve Moorhead bike I showed you?
Yep.
That's it up there on speed on Daytona. That's a Harley Davidson dealer factory poster.
Yeah.
They only give one to every dealer on VR 1000 on the other side. It's signed by Steve too.
Yeah, talked with Joe Robinson a few years ago, and he had a lot of parts left from the old racing days from Harley up in
Yeah, did
Daytona.
you talk to him when he was moving out of the building or when he was still in the building? He took you in that little room?
He was old and just had a stroke.
Oh,
and
yeah, with Joe. Okay, old man Joe, yeah.
the old man Joe, yeah.
Yeah, I got it right here. I got his...
So his grandson, I think I was
yeah,
talking.
I got a business card from him, autographed.
Yeah.
What do you want my autograph on the business card for?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, well, all those parts, all that stuff got sold. So it went to collectors. This is a good place now. I think someone was actually racing.
But how you have here a lot of motors, but you have also like a lot of spare parts to, or do you have to look for that every time when you restore a motor?
I have the parts to do what I need to do. You can find them at swap meets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even though you have the internet, swap meets is a source to find things.
Swap meets is for buying, and internet's for selling.
Is for
selling. You sell.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Swap meet, you get good deals.
Yeah.
Internet, you make the money. So this here is a 46 that the tanks went to. This had an intake lead. I'll put this down so you can.
Yeah.
Every good antique motorcycle shop's got to have one of these. Just a piece of welding wire, but so you can hook it here and put your seat up there so you can work on it and take it apart.
I thought the car thieves had that to lift open the door when they steal a car.
I wouldn't know about that.
Okay, sir. Understand.
So this, I was checking here. See over here.
Yeah.
So for intake manifold leaks, you put air pressure in there, and then this is a regulator like you use for a spray gun for painting.
Yeah.
And then you put 3 or 4 pounds in there, and then you use soapy water and see where it leaks, and then you fix the leaks, and then your motors start and run like they're supposed to.
Any leaks on this?
Not now. I just fixed it.
But when you got it.
Oh yeah, it had a lot. It was bad. I have some videos I can send you of
Yeah.
it. It was bubbling everywhere. Actually, I was just finishing this right now when you pulled up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you say, 46?
It's a 1946 EL. This is military paint. In the military, during the war, they didn't have any chrome or any pigments in the paint because everything went to the war.
Yeah.
So, but by 46 you could get paint already. But this one's just painted like that. I like it.
And here is 100% stock parts, or
No,
any cheating?
not cheating, but you know, it's 80 years old almost.
Yeah.
And some things just.
Any reproductions made by
Yeah, of
you or
course.
friends?
No, but it's got reproduction rubber grips, wiring harness, exhaust. You know, things. Some things are durable.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't restore this. I bought this like this.
Yeah.
So I don't know everything. It's a pretty nice bike though.
So, and the street value of a bike like this here in the US, what would you say?
Like
When-
probably $55,000. Right now, the economy, you know, knuckleheads are still moving, but the economy is like, you know, everyone hasn't really made up their mind how it's going to go yet. So once the consumer confidence, these things are going to go through the roof. Knuckleheads.
Yeah. And over here,
This
no
is a-
motor, but it's still, what will be inside here?
This is that 41 motor that's over there on the stand.
Yep.
This goes in here. These are just the master cylinder reservoirs. So it just has a little leak at the brake tee I gotta fix, and then the motor's gonna go in it.
Yep.
And this bike, this is already all done and running. It had a cracked motor mount. You can see the repair I did on Instagram. Shows you all the repair in detail from beginning to end. This is that bike. And then the motor's got to rebuild. So I'm just pretty much freshening up some wires and cleaning it up and putting it back together.
Yeah.
This motorcycle's my friend's. I built it 4 times for him in 35 years.
4 times in 35 years?
Yeah, he's owned this a long time.
Wow.
That's how I met him, with his bike broken down in front of my shop.
Yeah, imagine you have a fantastic network for everything.
That's just what I do,
Yep.
you know?
Great. So you have a lot of projects going on at the same time. You're not focusing just on one bike.
No. My whole life's a project, but that's okay.
I could never do that. I have to take one thing at a time.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, if you get stuck like
Yeah.
on parts or things or waiting for things, then you got to be productive and you do something else.
Yeah.
And then also, like, I really try to do make my money by sales of antique motorcycles, but you have to have filler work in between. So
Yeah.
once you get used to it, you can manage your time and do what you want to do. I don't have no boss.
So here we have
Just like my friend bought this off of eBay like 7 or 10 years ago,
yeah.
and it's fabricated exactly the way the C&L hogshot bike I have over there, the yellow one is.
Yeah.
I mean, so many things, the way the exhaust tabs are, the paint. I sent pictures of the paint to Streeter, and he said, yes, he painted it. And Parawitz says he thinks he engraved it, but it also could have been Sumax, because it has the little blue things. This is Sumax.
I bought things from them.
I've been talking to Keith, customer who did the seat on the yellow bike,
Yeah.
and he thinks this might have been built by Eddie Greco, who was working for Lou, or maybe Sumax, because the bike came from California.
Yeah.
But Streeter says he painted it, so, but it even has the same shifter here, like Lou's bikes.
Yeah, I remember the Sumax and the blue.
So I don't know whose bike it is, but
But was it found like a barn find?
no,
or?
it was actually a nice chopper. But I took it apart a bunch of years ago. I was gonna make something else out of it. I had sold the tank.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at it next to the yellow bike, and I realized what I think it is. So I just bought the tank back from my friend. I just got it back in Daytona last week when I saw you. And then the fender, it had a fender that was made out of 1/4-inch round rod.
Yeah.
All rolled and solid rod welded together. It weighed like 40 pounds.
Yeah.
But this is a Sportster fender I'm gonna put on it. And these are the prototypes for my handlebars, which I'm gonna show you that I'm making now. These are the original ones I made on the table.
Yep.
The product, and my production ones I have, I'll show you. But this is a pretty interesting bike. It's got an XA factory Springer, factory 3-inch longer Springer on it. It's a pan shovel. It's really nice engraving. It's got the Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction album cover painted on there. And I guess it's got a big motor. It's got 3-inch belt drive and a 10 stud clutch hub.
But when you're done with it, will you have it in show condition or
It'll be
like
rider.
a rider?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not going to restore it. I'm going to keep it like it is.
Yeah.
You know, fix up the paint right here.
Yep.
Paint this to match.
Yep.
But no, I like make it more like a Survivor. I don't want to make it all nice and shiny.
So if we then go to the bike I saw you at the True Grit show.
Yeah. This is my 47 knuckle that kind of like brings me back to my roots and my first knucklehead I had. Hold on, let me get a picture.
Yeah. So how young were you then?
I don't know, 94, I guess I was 26, 27. I think I had this one when I met you. That was the Easy Rider show probably in 94 or 95. That was one of those first big wheels we built.
Yeah.
But this kind of brings me back to my roots like that. Like this is how I really like how the motorcycle is like not so shiny. You can ride it, weld it, and,
Exactly.
you know, and use it for what
Use and abuse, yeah.
Yeah. This motorcycle came out of a barn in Montana.
Montana?
Montana, yeah. Actually, my friend Atomic Trent sent it to me, but I got just the bare bones. It didn't have the feet. The fender, the seat, the handlebars, the tank. Didn't have a carburetor. It had the pipes, but it needed a bunch of stuff. And then I just took a chance and bought it, and I got it running, and slowly I've been making it the way I want it. Like I put the internal throttle in here, and then it has I put the brake cable through there. I welded a Warrior steel brake cable through there.
Yeah.
And then here it's got the upside down trees. If you catch that, I don't know. It's this FL tree is flipped upside down, so it's flat on top. Normally it would be like this on the bottom. The bottom would be the top. I just got those in Daytona too. That's an old 70s set of trees.
But 30 years ago, then a knuckle was still affordable for like any man, or?
I bought my first one in '94 from an outlaw Daytona swap meet for $5,000 with hand shift, jockey shift. He told me to go take it down the road and ride it. I said, I don't know how to ride that. He said, go take it. I said, no way, I'm gonna crash and you guys are gonna kick my ass.
Oh, it was the first time you rode with it?
Yeah. I was
wow.
a kid. And he goes, no, go ahead, you'll be all right. And I rode it. I crashed it later that week 3 times. But it was fun, and then ever since then I've been having knuckleheads. You know?
Trial and error.
I like knuckleheads.
Yeah.
I like shovelheads too. I like panheads, but I like bikes like this.
Yeah. So
This is kind of like what true grit means, like a real motorcycle that you can ride and enjoy.
yeah, I now when you explain the true grit meaning, I really agree 100%.
Yeah.
But another bike I saw at True Grit was this, but a lot of more details and color on this.
Yeah, this is called the Hood Ride. I first built this bike in '96. It looks way different. It used to have a 16x3 round spoke Invader in the back.
Yeah.
And then Billy and I started doing the big wheels. And this is a rim from an E350 van. See how thick it is? Feel it.
Yeah.
It's heavy. This is a van, a 1-ton van wheel.
Yeah.
They were 16-inch, and that was the only way I knew how to get the big hoops back then. I would take them, we'd cut the center out and send it to Buchanan's, and they would dimple it. And then we'd build the spokes. I would get the hubs from Mike Du in Germany.
Yeah.
And get stainless hubs, and then they're Buchanan spokes. And build them. Everything's made on this bike. If you start looking at this is everything custom from front to rear. This is a 56 Harley Davidson frame that I widened with a jack.
So this is a stock frame.
It's a stock frame. You can see right here, even the date right there is a 6. I don't know if you can see it. It might just be 7. I don't know. But yeah, this is a stock frame. This is all real Harley parts except for what I made or super high-end, low production aftermarket parts. Like I got Pat Kennedy rocker boxes.
Yeah, please. I'm a total amateur when I see all this. Could you take it from the top? You said...
All right, so these are Pat Kennedy's rocker boxes.
Yeah.
I bought these off of ironcross.net when they first came out with that.
Yeah.
Somebody put them on, they didn't know what they were. They had lots of threads stripped out, needed machine work. I bought them for $200.
You needed to work with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I bought them for $200, but
Yeah.
that's a steal. And then I made the manifold to oil each one individually.
Yeah.
These are shovel heads. I made the pipes. These are 2-inch stainless steel. These are cuts and welds. They're not bent on a bender. And
Yeah.
then they're blended. The ART hydraulic clutch. I don't know where I got this. Everybody wants to know, but I don't know where I got the oil filter cover. Somebody gave it to me. And this is FNA Magneto's belt drive magneto.
Yeah.
You advance or retard it by changing the tension to either side of the belt.
Are they still available or?
Yes.
They are?
Yeah, I just gonna put one on my other motor there that I got. And then I don't remember where I bought the push rod covers, and these are Honda CBR master cylinders. I made the controls. They mount to the sidecar loops.
Yeah.
Hydraulic, everything.
So you were the first owner, so to speak, and then it changed owners, and then?
Yeah, everything's done by me. Every time I bought it back,
Yeah.
the title was still in my name.
Okay.
Yeah, I sold it now to somebody, and it's still in my name. He won't take it. I don't know.
Oh.
But it's got 23-inch wheels. One of my first 23-inch wheels.
Yeah.
Carbon fiber headlight. Check out the headlight. Harley Davidson used to sell these in 1980, 81. They're black and gold over the counter with that little badge. It's not a decal, that's in the glass.
It's in the glass.
Yeah. And then I got a knucklehead wheel with a Midstar adapter that doesn't just bolt on. It took 3 days to make that brake fit in there.
But how is it to ride with these tires?
Oh, it's
You need it to hear?
It's legal. It's from a 1981 Honda XLS 500. It's a street legal tire. It's a DOT. It's on off-road. You don't know this.
On off-road, okay.
Yeah, it's enduro tire. You don't know that it's... These were the first ones I used to do because no matter what anybody tells you, I'm the first one who did the 23 on the choppers.
Yeah.
I did it in 2004, the Easy Riders Invitational. And these were the only tires available. They didn't have the Avon and the V-rubber. Those tires weren't available yet. And then so how I widened this frame is no, you're talking about Russell. Here's Russell's Exile brake there.
Yep.
I jacked it. I jacked it wide here to get the width that I needed right here at this part of the tire. And then I made a tube and I welded it into the frame here, crossed it over there. And then I made another tube that simulated the axle, the wheel and the bearings and everything.
Yeah.
And I heated it and I pulled it in. And then I had to make another one here and straighten these out. So that's how I did that. And then this is a 6-volt oil tank that I cut. And that's a Tech product starter that I took apart and I indexed it and rotated it all the way down. Oh, yeah. And then I made all this. You can look at this bike for hours and you'll keep seeing more and more things you never saw before.
And the taillight, what the hell is that?
Oh, this is a beacon from a Cessna aircraft.
Oh, from your airplane.
Yeah, and I made this.
Oh.
This is just a piece of stainless steel tubing.
But could you in short just explain a little bit about this airplane deal? I saw some photos when you were with big old airplanes. Were you
Yeah.
wrenching with them or taking them apart? Or what?
Yeah, there's a picture of them there. Some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, these planes here. These planes were mine. These 5 planes, I won them in a lawsuit.
Oh.
And the guy didn't want to let me take them off his property, and I had to move them. I had to get them out without moving those planes, and they had to go that way.
Oh.
And so and then before that, those were the same planes were in New Jersey. It's long and complicated, but
Yeah, but I was so surprised.
I bought 5 planes, and I had to move them, and then take them apart and sell them in Arizona, and I did it.
Yeah, because I had no clue what the hell is going on.
Yeah, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's what I did.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a beauty. But this is like fantastic shopper, but then you also have the interest. Yeah.
That little battery is 460 amps.
Sounds good, sir. And it's still only 80, or how big is the motor?
No, that's 88 inches.
Yeah. But if we see a bike like this, then it's surprising to see next door racing bikes.
Yeah, these are Harley Davidson XR750s. This XR750 is the most successful racing engine ever produced by any manufacturer. From 1970 to 2014, they quit producing them. This particular bike was Nicky Hayden's. He raced when he was 16.
Yeah.
Nicky Hayden was a Grand National #1 plate holder in the AFT, and then he went to Formula One Superbikes.
Yeah.
He was #1 there, and he got killed riding a bicycle in Paris.
Typical.
Yeah. And these are the last 2 Harley Davidson factory team bikes. In 2014, when they ended the XR750 development program, they gave everything to Vance and Hines, including these 2 motorcycles. And Vance and Hines campaigned them for 2 more years in the AFT,
Yeah.
and then 2 years in the X Games, and then I bought them from Vance and Hines with my friend. So this is the last factory-supported team race motorcycles.
Yeah.
There's other ones that are privateers, but these are the last Harley Davidson team bikes. These bikes
So
are crazy.
Vance and Hines had a really,
They made them faster.
yeah.
These at the end they were turning 10,200 RPMs.
Wow.
Yeah, they're 312 pounds, 305 pounds, and 105 horsepower.
But was it, if I remember right, some politics that Harley just quit racing, or what? Did they have no chance against the Japanese?
No, I don't know. I don't think it was the Japanese. The Indians were beating them, but they're not Japanese. No, they introduced the XR750 GT, the water-cooled one.
Yep.
And it can't beat the Indians. These can beat the Indians sometimes. It's the only ones that has a chance. They can't beat these, and they can't beat the Indians.
Yeah.
But now AFT has no more production racing. There's no more purpose-built race motorcycles. It's over. It's the end of an era.
So end of an era.
End of an era. It's the races. I didn't even go this year because it's boring. There's no more Indian FTR 750s. There's no more XR 750 racing.
Oh.
It's over.
But
They're racing KTM's and Yamahas and stuff in dirt track frames.
But I must ask, did you just stumble over these, or you heard a rumor through the grapevine?
No, somebody
or
told me about them.
Yeah. So it's
I got lucky. I couldn't believe I was even getting them. I didn't tell nobody.
So you really have a wide interest in Harleys. I mean, knuckleheads and this is 2 different worlds, in a way.
I like factory racing motorcycles.
Yeah.
Choppers, and I like old bikes and choppers. I really appreciate stock old bikes, but it's hard to enjoy them because it takes the money away from them. You know what I mean? So it's more for a collector, and I don't have the money to be a collector, so I like to get motorcycles I can ride. That's why I like the knuckleheads and choppers. That's how we always got into the choppers. You know, Billy and I, because in 1990, there was choppers everywhere on the street. They were cheap. Nobody wanted them. You could buy them for $800, $1,500.
Wow.
And everybody wanted Softails. And you couldn't buy a Softail. I didn't have money for a Softail. So I got a chopper.
So then we go into another world. And some may recognize this bike, I think.
This is Choppers Inc.
Yeah.
Built by my brother Billy. This is called the King of Sleeves. This is also for Tucker, the man who owns the
big distribution Tucker.
the Volcom sportswear,
Yeah.
surfwear. He also owns that Indian Larry bike.
Exactly.
So this bike, next thing is my next thing. After I finish the bikes on the stand, I'm gonna detail this up and put it for sale. It's a pretty interesting bike, man. You can look at it for hours and never get bored with it.
So it has been on the road a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, it's been written everywhere.
Yeah.
Both of them.
There it says King of Sleaze.
Yeah.
But correct me, but is it Tucker or own drag specialties? Or it's a completely other game?
Different guy.
Different guy, okay. How are you with bikes? Are they one ugly side and one nice side, or are both sides
What do you mean?
nice looking? Some say the left side of a Harley is the ugly
Oh,
side.
I like both sides.
You like both?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here.
You can figure it out.
And then here in the garage I met an old friend from '87. A yellow bike. This is
Yeah, this is
not Captain America's bike, but for me this is part of my first year in Daytona Bike Week. I saw this in 1987, and then the owner, Warren, what's
Yeah.
his name? Lou
Falsigno.
Falsigno, yeah.
Yeah.
But why was the name C&L Hog Shop? What was the first C? Do you know that, or?
Yeah, it was Casey.
Yeah.
His name was Casey.
Yeah.
Something. He got murdered.
Okay.
I forget his name. Keith. But this was Keith's place from Keith's Leather Shop.
And they were on the West Coast.
No, they were in Hollywood or in Fort Pierce.
In Fort Pierce,
Fort
okay.
Pierce. This CNL was in Fort Pierce. And this was Keith's bike. First they built the Wizard, the red one.
Yeah.
The red one won the very first invitational in Easy Riders Invitational in 1986.
86.
So the red one was the Wizard, and then this bike is identical to it, except it has different paint and it's yellow.
Yeah.
This was built by, this was done for Keith. I'm still friends with Keith. I talk to him all the time.
Dave Mann paintwork.
No,
No?
yes, it's David Mann.
Inspired.
Streeter painted it, and he got permission from David Mann before he did it.
Oh, he was that gracious. Okay.
Yeah.
So if we take it from the front, what the Springer? Is
Yeah, I
it-
mean, I didn't build this bike.
No, but you know.
I can just tell you what I see.
No.
Right? Anybody knows that. It's just a
Yeah.
Harley Davidson Springer. It's a wishbone frame,
Yeah.
shovel head motor, and it's just basically this is the chopper style that this setup right here never goes out of style.
Exactly.
It's always been a good style since the 50s and 60s and 70s. It always endures. It never goes away. And even the long bikes, those things are coming back. There's a new emerging market.
Oh.
Right now, it's choppers, famous choppers from the 80s and 70s.
Yeah.
Good choppers that you can ride from those days.
Yep.
That's a big thing. Because they all, especially the knuckleheads, they've all been salvaged for the motors. You know, everybody's been taking them apart because they're worth so much money.
So this bike was in this perfect shape when you bought it, or you
No,
had to?
it had been sitting in the garage for 24 years. It took me 24 years to get this.
24 years.
Yeah, it got sold twice to friends of mine when I was around, and
Yeah.
I missed the deal. And then my last friend had I've been trying to buy it for all this time, and finally.
But did it change your owners during that time? What was?
No, one guy had it for 24 years.
Oh yeah.
But it changed 2 owners from Keith.
How big was that shop, C&L? Was
Oh,
it?
it was a little, tiny little place, little hole in the wall. This motor's 98 inches.
Yeah.
This bike's crazy to ride. You can't even stay on it.
Yeah.
So
Because,
all I really did was clean and detail. I polished up the paint, conditioned the leather, and shined the wheels.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in this condition. I
and
mean, it was dirty.
100% stock paint from.
Yeah, I
Eight.
haven't fixed
That's
nothing.
unbelievable. And I think he was also one of the first who were relaunching flames, like the ones.
Les Streeter, him and Streeter and Parawitz, they were doing flames a lot back then.
Yeah. It's a killer bike. Yeah, I love the wide range of bikes here. Classic bikes, shoppers,
Kind of
and
my
race
show.
bikes.
Kind of like my show. How long did you stay at the show for? I didn't know you didn't have parking. I could have got you parking. I didn't know. I could have got you parking across the street.
Yeah, it was busy. Daytona. I hate when it gets too
Yeah.
messy, so to
You know,
speak.
Sunday, reason I got that Sunday show is because Sunday there used to be nothing going on. It
Yeah.
was the deadest day and everything, and they gave me that day, and now my show's like the best thing to do on Sunday.
Yeah, compared with other shows, I mean,
We got my brothers,
yeah.
mine, and then Willie's is the best things really, likely.
Yeah,
So-
because Willis, it's so you like standing room only.
there's
It's
no
very
shade.
very
There's
tight.
No shade, but it's great motorcycles.
Yeah,
and
and
you gotta give him credit for he's a big part of what's kept him popular. You know, Willie.
yeah, I remember one year he told me,
He doesn't make no money at all that. He gives
No?
everything. He gives everything to the veterans, to charity.
"Wow,
Yeah, everything. He doesn't. Everything. Any revenue, any profit, it all goes to charity.
yeah,
Everything.
yeah." I remember one year when I talked to him. I asked why he was in Ormond, and I think he wasn't allowed to do tattoo work in Daytona. That's why he had to go walk to Ormond Beach.
Now Ormond's getting like that too. They're trying to get after. That's why everybody went to Ormond first because it was more friendly, and now they want their tax revenue too, like everybody else. So this was my brother's bike.
Yeah.
It was running and riding, and he sold the chassis to my friend Granville.
Yeah.
And then this is a twin carb 39 motor.
It's overwhelming to see so many different
Yeah.
bikes at one time. Let's see here. Everything is so organized, Warren.
So
As an old military officer, I give you 10 points.
my dad was in the military.
Yeah? This is unusual to see in a shop.
Yeah, I clean up as I go, and I like to have a good work environment. That way you get good products.
So your wife doesn't clean the garage, you do
Oh yeah,
it?
she does. She comes every month, and she does the floors in the bathroom and the kitchen.
Okay. So now
But
what?
I cleaned it. I clean, keep it looking like this every day. You know.
No.
Like maybe not every day. Like if I get big projects, but when I'm done by the end, I don't leave it. This is, you know, I have a friend who's really a good friend and gracious and lets me use this spot, and
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I make sure it's clean. I don't want him coming in and having a mess either. You know.
Exactly. So in Sweden there is a custom that if you have a guest, you always give him a motor. What did you choose for me to bring back to Sweden?
Let me see. I might have a little something for you over here. There you go. You can have this. This is from Gino.
Oh,
The horse.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
was
and the Hot Rod magazine.
His knucklehead that they had in there morphine.
Morphine.
Yeah. There you go. Pretend it's a motor.
Let's.
Look, it's painted by some. I didn't even see the
Yeah.
06. What's this?
Cool. I take a look at it. Wow.
I don't know, but I'm sure it was a good painter.
Take
Yeah,
it with
yeah.
that hand. Thank you. And
I don't think I have any.
some. No, it's. It was a big joke, but I
I might
managed.
have some other stuff to give you. I think. Let me see. I might have some True Grit banners and stuff. I don't know. And my wife, she did all the artwork for me.
Wow.
She framed everything and put it up.
Wow.
These are Jackie, the French guy,
Yeah.
and then all these other ones are David Mann centerfolds.
Yeah.
Well, there's a whole bunch.
I have his business card. He was riding in my convertible '97 in Agora Hills, and he was going for the Weasels. Shopper time.
Looking for my.
And that's a Morris mag, or
Huh?
is that a Morris mag? This or
Where?
this?
No, that's a Kim tab. It's a Kim tab that has it looks like the BMX wheel with
Yeah.
the spider webs.
Yeah.
And the spider webs have been cut out, so it looks like that. I'm gonna put that. I'm putting that on my knucklehead.
Okay.
Look here.
Wow, CNL Hog Shop. I have that somewhere
Yeah.
on the farm.
Yeah. Look at this. You probably have one of these too.
Sharpest ink, Warren.
The old ones.
And I have to tell everybody that in '01, Warren made the effort, rode from Miami to Orlando and picked me up at the airport. Never met him. And then I didn't meet him for 24 years. And here we are again. That's true. I really, really appreciate how you helped me this time, Warren.
Sure, man.
But I see you red line oil all the time. Is that some project you have together with them, or?
It's a really good racing oil. It's been around forever. It's super high quality, and
Yeah.
they sponsor me. Like they give me oil and stuff, and in turn I promote them. It's a new thing I just started with them. But they give me there's a great product, and it's the best. I mean, there's nobody's gonna say it's not.
But
So
we
they-
have
all the XR 750s and all. I mean, everybody. There's Spectro, them, Bel-Ray. They all.
Yeah.
You know, they're good, but I like the red line. I got it right here in my box. I mean, that's why I put it in my. Not just because they give it to me. This is stuff that I bought. I put in my XR 750s.
Yeah.
You look right here. I mean, it's even. They're big sponsors of the racing since that bike was raced in 1990. So.
But you had one other product which is just out of the box.
My handlebars.
Yeah.
So.
Is it on the market or is it coming on the market?
I'm ready now. I had them all ready. I just was waiting for the economy to get good.
Yeah.
And this is a set here. These are chrome. They come with the internal throttle. They'll come with the buttons with the coins on them. You can get them set up for a master cylinder or without a master cylinder, or black or chrome.
Is it 1 inch tubing or?
No, these are 1.25 inches.
Oh, inch and a quarter.
Yeah, they have the internal throttle already installed. It'll come with the buttons. It'll come with grips, and they come with a triple tree for inline springers. I'm gonna have them soon for Hydroglides too and late model springers, but right now I have these. So these are chrome. They're hard chrome, and you can feel this tubing is elliptical here.
Yeah.
And at the end is round. And the end is round. I make everything. Everything's made here in USA. The chrome is done in house and everything.
And the internal throttle is mounted when you deliver.
It comes. All you have to do is put the cable in.
Yeah.
And it's going to come with the button here with the coins on both sides. You can get it with the. This is for spool front brake. No front brake. You can get it like this.
Yeah.
Or with the mount for the right or left or both sides, whichever you want.
Yeah.
This is a Ducati Panigale. So from a Brembo radial master cylinder.
Because I remember when I saw this model the first time, one of these handlebars broke in 2 pieces, but this looks so reliable.
No, my handlebars didn't break. My handlebars don't break.
No. So nice.
This is like the original Matt Hodge when he first made his pop-up caps.
Yeah?
He's one of the original ones.
Tolle had one too, the pop-up.
Yeah.
It's a discussion who came up with it first.
Maybe I did get that from Tolle. I don't know, but I think I got it from.
Tolle had it, and then somebody
I think
stole
I got
it.
it from Matt Hodge. I don't know.
And it's the same thing with the
Everybody's
rear
got it now. Yeah.
with the rear
You
caliper.
see the cylinders on this motor? They're Strosiet. These are from the 80s. This guy was all drag race stuff, especially Sportsters.
Yeah.
And almost all his stuff is big bore racing. It's super hard to get a 74-inch bore cylinders. And it's got nice little carburetor mounts. It's just a simple little thing, but this way you don't have to get your wrench right in there.
Nice. All right, Warren. 40 interesting minutes.
40 minutes.
Yeah, when you talk about something interesting and meet
Yeah.
brother of two wheels.
All you asked for was 5 or 10, huh?
Yeah, so thank you very much for taking the time and especially for the service while I arrived here in Miami. It made my 70th anniversary a memory for life, or as long as I live.